Hey, I'm ScytherGreen from Server 73. Today we're looking at a brand new legendary skill that's popped up after the last update. It's called Fountain of Life. It's a passive skill that can seriously change the flow of battle, especially if you're into sustained setups or countering control-heavy teams. Let's get into what it actually does and why you might want to give it a second look. So, what exactly is Fountain of Life? It's a legendary passive skill that works automatically once equipped. No activation needed. It can only be used by defense or support immortals. Here's what it does. At the start of battle, all your allies become immune to silence for 6 seconds. It heals your entire team every 3 seconds, starting at 45% recovery rate and scaling up to 150% at max level. It reduces healing from other allied immortals by 50%, so your main healer will be less effective while this skill is active. In return, it increases self-healing, most likely for the immortal who's equipped with the skill. That boost starts at 6% and climbs to 20% as you level it up. It's designed to give your team steady, consistent healing and protection from silence at the start of battle. But you'll need to plan around the reduced healing from your usual support skills. That healing penalty matters more than you might think. From the current description, it looks like Fountain of Life reduces healing received by the equipped immortal. But until it's fully tested, it's possible the effect could apply more broadly. Either way, it can partially shut down things like life protection, purification, or vitality touch, all of which are designed to trigger emergency healing or support mid-battle. So while you're gaining silence immunity and a reliable healing pulse every 3 seconds, you're also potentially sacrificing a good chunk of your team's traditional support. That trade-off is what makes this skill so unique, and why you need to be thoughtful about who you put it on. One important thing to note: if you're running a single healer comp, and that healer is the one equipping Fountain of Life, then their own healing skills like Vitality Touch or Purification shouldn't be affected by the 50% penalty. The reduction only seems to apply to healing received from other allied immortals. So if your main support is running both the healing and Fountain of Life, they'll still be operating at full strength. Again, this is based on current descriptions and will need to be tested to confirm. Fountain of Life doesn't play nicely with burst-style healers who rely on constant team-wide support. But it works really well with immortals whose healing is either self-focused, delayed, or paired with strong utility. Here are 4 standouts that fit the skill like a glove. First up, Ninetales. Her ultimate, Phantom Pact, heals the most damaged ally every time an ultimate is cast and clears heavy debuffs like Bite and DOT. Since her healing is targeted and reactive, she might work well with Fountain of Life, but this depends on whether that 50% healing reduction affects her ultimate or not. That still needs testing. What we do know is that her artifact boosts healing effects, which could complement the self-healing boost from Fountain of Life, if she's the one equipping it. Next, Fu Fei. She brings control immunity and cleanse with elegant dance. Her healing is just part of the package. What you're really getting is crowd control protection. With Fountain of Life covering silence immunity for the first 6 seconds, and Fu Fei cleansing and granting full control immunity shortly after, they create a strong 1-2 punch that keeps your team stable against control-heavy comps. Then, there's Theodora. Her ultimate, Divine Gift, is all about emergency healing. Massive numbers when allies drop below half HP. Even with the 50% reduction in healing from others, Divine Gift is powerful enough to still land meaningfully. In fact, Fountain of Life buys your team time to get to that low HP moment, then Theo swoops in to top them up. Last, Zenobia. Her skill, Empress's Favor, heals the 2 most damaged immortals and gives them a regeneration effect tied to their basic attacks. That ongoing healing is classified as self-heal, which actually gets a boost from Fountain of Life. Plus, her artifact increases attack speed, so her regen ticks more often. That synergy makes her a natural fit. So don't just think about raw healing numbers. Fountain of Life is at its best when it's used by immortals who bring more than just healing to the table, like cleanse, control immunity, regen, or smart targeting. But let's be real, none of that synergy matters if you can't actually unlock the skill. So before you start theory crafting your perfect setup, let's talk about what it'll cost you. To fully max out Fountain of Life, you'll need 240 fragments in total. That's 60 to unlock. Then 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, and finally 60 more to reach level 8. In the absolute worst case scenario, where you only get the guaranteed 4 fragments every 40 spins, you'd need 2,400 Triss coins to hit max level. That's your hard ceiling. Realistically, you'll pick up bonus fragments from random drops, so the true cost is usually lower. But if you're budgeting carefully, it's safest to plan for the full amount. So, what about coin purchases? GT Arcade bundles give you up to 712 coins per week, and in-game bundles offer up to 2,436 coins per week. Now, if you're focusing on just the $5 and $10 bundles, which are the most cost-effective, you'll be pulling in around 356 coins per week from both stores combined. At that rate, you're looking at about 7 weeks to fully max out the skill, assuming worst-case RNG and 0 bonus drops. So if you want to go all in during the event, make sure you pace your spins and purchases carefully. Because whether you're spending big or budgeting smart, timing and planning are what make this skill worth the grind. Alright, so here's the bottom line. Fountain of Life can be a game changer if you build around it the right way. You're getting silence immunity, team-wide healing, and stronger self-sustain, but only if you're smart about who equips it. Put it on the wrong immortal and you'll lose more than you gain. It's not a cheap skill either, so if you're going for it, know the cost, pace your spins, and get the most out of every coin. No one wants to end up 20 fragments short on the final day. If this helped you plan your build, or saved you from a costly mistake, drop a like, leave a comment with your thoughts or questions, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in Norheim.